Hello, friends. My name is host Derek, and I'm the host of Talking with Spanish People, and I'm here to share with you wonderful news that I have today in store. A news so groundbreaking, so earth-shattering, so mind-boggling that your mind will be boggled, your earth will be shattered, and the first one who can remember. The topic of this video is self in crazy times. How to be yourself in crazy times. I would say we're living in pretty crazy times, What with all the rigmarole and hullabaloo that goes on the international stage. What's up with Turkey anyway? Nobody knows. What's up with Afghanistan? Why are they so fucked up? Why can't they straighten this shit out, What's up with Morocco? Is that really where Morocco's come from? I don't think so.
No, that's where hash comes from.
And what's up with Democratic Republic of Congo? Is it really a democratic republic? What's going on with Hong Kong right now? Why is China all up in their ass? Because they're assholes. Where else would they be? This is called Eric's semi-comedic political patter. Ha-cha-cha-cha, as they say in the comedy business. If you've not explored haws, chaws, chaws, and chaws, you're probably not in the comedy business. Spacey, the topic today is being a self in crazy times. Do you think these are crazy times to be a self in?
Absolutely, Eric.
In which to live?
I watched a documentary called The Century of the Self, which documents the past century.
I see. Are we post-self then now?
No, we've kind of evolved to this point where being yourself has achieved this like inflated importance.
But Spacey, being yourself is the most important thing ever.
Basically, people have capitalized on selling ways of expression to people, essentially. So when before everyone just wore, plain clothes that they may have made themselves, and they repair when it gets a hole in it or whatever. Right now they're selling they're mass manufacturing all of like these designer clothes and stuff, where it's like, well, if you wear this, then you can really let people know that you're a really unique person and that you're really expressing yourself. It's like,
is this sort of a veiled jab at my crop top that I've been wearing? It is a designer.
But yeah, I guess glorifying your own uniqueness has kind of become a common pastime of people.
Hi, Zandy. Evening to you, gentlewoman. Glorifying the what?
Your own uniqueness. Or
glorifying your own uniqueness.
There's a lot of look how special I am going on.
But hey, Spacey, we are special. Okay, very, very special. We're very, 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 very special ladies.
Right, but everyone's special, and there's nothing special about that.
Oh, I don't know about that. Just because everyone's special doesn't mean specialness isn't special anymore. Hi, Peter Dentist. Peter Dentist is special. He's got a special part in his special body called his spleen.
I think it's best encapsulated when you see somebody on Twitter who has like 12 different labels for themselves, like gender queer, anarcho-communist, pansexual, blah 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 blah, just a whole list of
Hey.
Gender and political and whatever tags they can come up with, and that's kind of like, these are all the things that are myself. This is what I am.
Especially as a transgender racial person who's trans both in gender, race, and age, and additionally as somebody who's typically curious. So I'm not actually ever going to be like an ESTJ, but I'm curious about them. I take offense at that. I have a lot of labels that represent myself. Okay.
No, that's not narcissism. Narcissism is something that's definitely being overdiagnosed after what Basil just said. He was right about that.
You're right about that for sure. Because you know why? Because you're rapping Basil.
It's more like people don't even know who they are apart from what groups they belong to, I guess, is the issue there.
Well, I'm a member of the Individualists, so I know better. The Individualists is my group. And it's...
Like, I actually had a talk with somebody once who literally, they were distraught because they could not find the right label to define their gender and sexual expression.
Hambone is chadsexual. I really enjoy the word chadsexual.
I like it too, actually.
Is that somebody who's only attracted to chads? Or is that somebody who is a chad and therefore is just sexualizing everybody who needs to be chatted? Chadsexual, postmodern, orange, anarcho, neo-democratic, cyber-feudalist. Why do people even need to tell us all those labels is pointless? Well, I mean, a lot of people like in the raw room will put their name, their type, their Enneagram type, their horoscope, right. Shit like that, I don't, but I don't think it's a terrible thing to do. It does seem kind of, well, I mean, it lets you know a little bit about the person, I guess.
Well, I mean, and we do that because it's explicitly about typology, and people often ask everybody what their type is. So you might as well just, like, put it there.
Yeah. That's why in order to be truly unique in these times, don't be unique. Well, the thing is, I'm not so interested in being unique. I'm interested in being disruptive in some capacity, perhaps, or impactful ideationally. But I'm not necessarily interested in being unique. It's like I can't help but be. I've always had almost a problem of being weird, standing out, being weird, and Kimberly's always telling me I'm weird and stop being weird, and it's uniqueness is not something I feel like I have in short supply, really. There's just too many particularist elements mixing in, plus being 50 years old. I feel like a unique individual, but I don't think that's particularly anything in and of itself. I mean, you could be uniquely bad at everything.
Well, that's exactly it, though. You don't have to take like drastic measures to prove to people that you're unique. Which is what I feel like there's a lot of that going on, basically.
Well, there's a certain amount of, like, there will always be a certain amount of people positioning themselves against something else in order to establish identities, in order to affirm identities within themselves. And that's sort of a stage of development. I think eventually you learn to, at least if you're an SI user, you learn to compare against your previous selves more and less against other outside shit.
It's definitely a confusing world to try to figure out who you are now, I guess. I think maybe if it was like the 1700s and you were just a rural person, you'd just be like, Yeah, I'm Eric. I'm the son of John. John farms cattle. You know, like that's who I am. It's like now there's so many things that you can be.
Well, the thing is,
It's like
I walked through a graveyard not so long ago, and on the gravestones are all things like beloved son, father, and husband, or whatever, you know. And those sort of the things that get left on the gravestone is, did you get married? Were you, obviously you were somebody's kid, you know, but did you have kids? Um,
yeah, it's just like the simple shit.
but it seems like so inadequate now.
Right.
Can you imagine a world in which you were only remembered by the people who actually had experiential memories of you?
Right.
And somebody who saw your gravestone where they learned when you were born, when you died, and that you were a father and a husband. And that somebody loved you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And your community knew you, and nobody else did.
Like my parents, for example, at least they grew up, they've been around in the era of photographs. So there's like hardly any video of them. There's some video now. My dad decided to make videos of them periodically, asking questions and stuff. But it's so weird to think that when they're gone, their voices will largely be gone. And like who they were 20 years ago, gone. Who I was 20 years ago is mostly gone. At least I have like media generated audio or writing. I don't have a lot of video, but let's see. Eric, transracial, Ain't Pete, cheese addict, bone rips, loves debate, Marlboro advocate, Florida natural grapefruit juice advocate, true about that for sure. Rightness advocate, Chad sexual, R.I.P. And that's my gravestone. That's pretty good. Yeah.
You know, we actually have the luxury of worrying about a lot more things now, too.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
Like what? What kind of things are luxurious worries?
Like, gay marriage, for example, to be perfectly honest with you.
This is a luxurious worry.
Yeah.
We have to be married too.
It's,
are you sure?
We start worrying about like more in the trans rights thing, right? We start worrying about more and more like kind of granular issues.
Right. Yeah. You know, you're in a pretty well-functioning society when...
Right, exactly.
When shit like that happens the other night on the live stream, when somebody comes in and starts bitching about how I'm being hypocritical because I'm limiting their speech, but it's like free speech for me, but limited speech for other people, huh? And I'm explaining to them, no, you have the same free speech rights. Either you can go start your own channel, but this person is so entitled and so assuming basic norms that there's a presumption that because I favor free expression that I'm somehow required to allow him to say whatever the fuck he wants on my channel. You know, that sort of entitlement is a beautiful byproduct of a free society.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but beautiful.
Well, it's like having the freedom to just bitch and moan.
And be totally fucking wrong. And be completely fucking wrong and just continue being wrong. Just like, yeah. Being incredibly petulant and spoiled about it. Good job, society.
Well, it almost sort of ends up breeding a society of adult children.
Exhibit A. Exhibit B.
Exhibit B.
And despite her belief to the contrary, Kimberly is fucking Exhibit C.
Although I'm a generation ahead of you, so I have a little bit more MK Ultra jammed into my brain.
Well, I think you're you're a little bit more comfortable with reality and a little less insistent that it match up with what you've been told it's supposed to be.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on INTP ESFJ relationship? I think it's great. I think everybody should get in one if they're an INTP or ESFJ. And it'll make you satisfied, joyful, glad, and filled with, effervescence. Social validation doesn't really matter if you're dead.
Yo, where are those ESFJs at?
Yeah, ESFJ ladies in his house, come on out and say hello. INTP species ready to go. Ooh, to the law, to the listen, isn't all.
Yeah, where the West feed women at?
What kind of relationship would an ENFJ and INTP have? What would that look like? It would look like a very good relationship for a while until it broke down. It broke down because the INTP would eventually they break their eyes rolling them so often at the ENFJ. They won't roll them at the ESFJ because they'll be like, "Aw."
What? ENFJs are hot.
Yeah, but
What?
that tool function NI gets old fast.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Like, quit telling me your truths. Especially for me, because I'm their benefactor type, and they're the beneficiary, right? So it's like the only time the relationship is effective between an ENFJ and an ENTP is if the ENTP is teaching the ENFJ shit. ESFJ is more intelligent than ENFJ, in my opinion. And polar is always a fucking nightmare, but so is SI polar. Either of the knowing functions polar is a nightmare. Has Spacey ever been close to an ENFJ? Well, I'm going to let him answer that for himself in a second, but I want to first say, don't tell him, but I'm putting together a field trip to make him above his brows. And if he's really lucky, maybe he's going to be able to come along.
Are they like a corn maze?
I mean, they're like sitting in God's lap.
Yeah, I've been close to an ENFJ. Briefly.
What happened? Did you get rained upon?
No, it was just long distance.
Didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that can of worms.
It was pretty nice FE though.
ESFJs are life smart. They help me so much, but I feel like a baby next to them. But they like you to be.
Oh, broke up with Becky? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's interesting that you think that having NI-SI polar nightmare is unnoticeable in society. I mean, yeah, you're right. It is. It's the least. Those are the least noticeable polars, but to me, they're the most. I see my dad's NI polar, and it makes me shake my head. SI polar makes me shake my head too, because SI polar people don't get that other people's particularism matters, and NI polar people don't get that universalism matters over their particularism sometimes. What is a sign of polar SE? Participating in this live stream is a pretty good sign of it, usually. I mean, there's a lot of people here who don't have polar SE, I bet, but I would say that more than 1/16th, or I'm sorry, more than 1/8 of the total people here have polar SE. So watching this live stream correlates with polar SE. Maybe you're being supervised by ESFJs. It's sad you broke up with Becky. Who broke up with Becky? It was a long marriage. I don't know who you're talking about. My dad kills me with absolute zero TI involvement of NI tool using others' opinions to make claims. Frustrating, huh? Null Edge says he has a video on that. It was last week. Who's he?
Probably Michael Pierce.
Me?
Michael Pearson.
Oh, I do. Freddie Chandler, you're not an ESTP.
Maybe I have a video about that.
Freddie Chandler, you're so not an ESTP. You believe Freddie Chandler saying she's an ESTP?
I don't know anything about Freddie Chandler.
Oh, on Polar SE, you mean? Oh, yeah, that's right. We did make a video about that. It's fun. I like hanging out with Spacey because there's no pressure really to do anything. Like, I don't feel like he's getting impatient with me. And it's just not going down. Polar SE, life is about presence. Get over it, Michael Pierce. Is that his advice to Polar SE, or is it?
Sounds like it.
Or his description? I don't know. If you observe and pay attention, you can see SI and I polar in life. Yeah, you can. Well, I still don't know what you're talking about, but anyway. Sorry, Chandler, time for empty talks over, Eric. We need to get shit done. That's right. That's right, Freddie. That's why I'm putting on my SE hat, my SE coat, my SE pants.
My business sucks.
We're going to go wingsuiting. Me and Freddie Chandler are going wingsuiting later. Who wants to join us? It's only like a 20% chance of dying. Pretty good odds. Both in a way. 4th of July, my grandma was repeating all the Fox News talking points. When I finally engaged her, she flipped and said she was an independent. Literally, you're referring to yourself as a Republican for the last 20 minutes. Well, her point is, no. Who had a falling out? Me and Becky?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
I mean, I didn't think we had a falling out. But I guess we did. I don't know. I just talked home. I said, "You're not my friend anymore." I was like, huh. I just figured it was just normal shit that happens. But, I'm accustomed to a much probably higher level of drama in my life than most people. So for me, it's just all part of a regular Tuesday. Technically, communicating on this live stream counts as doing something. I'm getting shit done by learning stuff on here. You're not only learning, you're teaching as well, Freddie. I'm learning from you.
You can't learn without teaching, and you can't teach without learning.
That's why they should just call it turning or leeching.
No, they call it learn teaching or teach learning.
Leeching. Forgot to make the point, and I pull it. The moon is cheese, and I dom. Okay, I'm sorry. Have I? What are you sorry for? What has been or where is yours and Spacey's biggest potential clash? The potential clashes would arise from a lack of understanding who he is and stuff like that, which I don't usually have. Kimberly there might be conflict with Kimberly because Kimberly, if she wants something like, I want the living room to myself now or something, she's not going to tell him that because effie tool, I guess. You're going to give him hints or something, and then he's not going to pick up on them, right? So it's like that would be a potential source of conflict, except I'm telling Kimberly, I'm sort of coaching Kimberly on life with an INTP, that he has no problem, Spacey has no problem being very socially graceful and trying to be very socially accommodating in all ways, but you have to actually say the fucking words to him, which is perfectly reasonable requirement, I don't know. It's like a lot of people don't like to be direct about shit.
No, people expect you to read their minds. Well, I can do sometimes.
Hunt.
Not all the time.
What is the order of your animals? Sleep, play, blast, consume.
I don't know, Eric. I guess I would say our main clash is usually on FI grounds, actually.
Really?
I guess so. And maybe NI a little bit.
I don't have those animals as far as I know. I don't know what order they're in, and I think that's silly. I use podcasts like this as ambience while I'm working. I use my live streams as car ride radio when I have to shuttle my mom back and forth, shit like that. I listen to it on the car. Hopefully, sometimes I'm more entertaining than others. Sometimes I'm like, this time really flew by, and sometimes I'm like, hurry up, Eric, you're boring the shit out of me. Polar sounds like paradise in so many ways. You aren't perpetually haunted by mistakes you made in the past. You manufacture your own narratives, even if they didn't occur in the past. You're able to go continuously and earn mass scale respect. And most importantly, you don't have SE polar. Yeah, but what's it all worth? You don't retain any of it as experiential identity. If you had to rate Dave Powers' objective personality system on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you give it and why? I guess I'd give it like a 4, maybe, or 3.5. And the reason is because it's totally wrong, but he still seems like a nice guy, so he gets a 3.5. I mean, I think it's wrong, and it's stubborn in its wrongness and weak in its justifications for why it's stubborn in its wrongness. So, it's not much to say about it, really. Consume, play, blast, sleep for TWFP, if I had to guess, whoever asked. Consume, play, blast, sleep. So what does that mean? Can somebody explain that to me? Do you know what that means, Spacey?
They're just different. They're different names for like, PE and PI, and JE and JI, I think. Like consume would be like SE or NE, I think. And blast would be like TE or FE, maybe. Like that.
Antipolar, no identity. You see people's archetypes, can't remember stuff. Yeah. Identity overrated anyway, says Freddie Chandran. The massive confidence that ENXJs have is massively due to massive SI polar. Probably. Yeah, I mean, like you said, they don't really remember their shames. Agreed. People obsess over their ego. I'm obsessing over it right now. I'm obsessing over your ego, Angantier. It's very fondleable. People who watch Dave Superpowers and C.S. Joseph want to know about how the personalities function in practice, while it's more of a theoretical thing for Eric. I mean, I don't think they learn anything about how functions work in practice. I think they learn a bunch of nonsense that misleads them and takes them in the wrong direction in terms of understanding that stuff. Identity is overrated, adds Andy. No, it's not. It's correctly rated. Take in data, play with data, spread data, and preserve data. Oh, it seems to me you're saying it'd be TINEFESI in that instance, you're saying.
Yeah.
Except I'm clearly not a TI don. My Jack goes NETIFESI. One drawback I can think of for SI polar is that it can make someone have the potential to be very Machiavellian and take an ends justifies the means approach. I don't know if that's a direct link or not. It does seem to be that your SI polar people view other people as instrumental, or at least that there are larger goals that can supplant the interests of individual people, more so probably for ENFJs than ENTJs who have FI. But I'm not sure if utilitarianism necessarily stems from that. I think it's probably like they don't really take a position on whether the ends justify the means. They just sort of do what they want to do. They just sort of leave it unquestioned. Which MBTI YouTube channels, if any, do you like to watch? I mean, I watch Lovely sometimes. I watch Nathan on Lovely as well. I watch a little bit of Megan Lavota's video, like a couple minutes of it, just sort of look at her eyebrows for a second, and then she just starts boring me. She doesn't really ever say a whole hell of a lot.
You just got to get your daily, 5 minutes of eyebrow gazing, right?
So Knowledge says, I had the same view on Dave Powers, but I've consumed over 30 plus hours now, and it's pretty concrete once enough of the pieces were revealed. I mean, look, he's got all kinds of things fucked up, and he doesn't have any sort of there's no overarching legitimizer to it. It doesn't purport to be a mechanical representation of anything. It doesn't distinguish between things that are operationalizable or operationalized and things that are metaphorical. It's just bad argumentation. And the thing about modeling cognitive functions is it absolutely is an act of argumentation. It's making a case. He's done a poor job of it. There are clear distinctions he needed to have made that he failed to make and continues to fail to make. So I'm not sure about this, Andy. Then again, I think I'm probably an Enneagram 9. Well, Freddie Chandran, if you're an Enneagram 9, then you know what all Enneagram 9s know. You want to avoid conflict. Freddie Chandran, if you're an ESTP, then I'm an ESFJ, says Rowan Morgan. What would you say the big strengths and weaknesses of FE Tool are? I mean, FE Tool in an ISFJ manifests somewhat in accordance with their own personal experience. I've seen Kimberly's FE Tool be very effective at accomplishing things that FE is empowered to accomplish. I've seen her get our car fixed for free because we purchased it just a couple weeks prior. But I had signed these papers that said, I understand that I'm getting this as is and I'm getting no warranty, because basically we got the car we wanted in the most recent year we could get it at the price we wanted to pay, but we didn't really have any money left over for warranties and shit like that, So I signed this paper saying, I'm getting it as is. If it breaks down, it's my problem. So when it broke down a week or two later, I was just well, there's nothing we can do about it. I signed the thing. I know what I was signing. I saw the papers. I understood what I was signing there, and that they have no burden at all. So nothing we can do about it. But she didn't buy that. She called them, and they're like, well, of course we'll fix it. You just got the car. It's, fairly expensive. And so they fixed it. That's an example of FE Tool. That she doesn't care that what the paperwork that we signed says. She says, but it doesn't matter because that's not how it's supposed to be, right? The problem with FE Tool, one of the problems I encounter is she polices me a lot with FE. So if I'm making a live stream and she thinks it's not even that she thinks I've pushed a given joke too far. She thinks it's nearing too far, and she's afraid I'm going to push it too far or something. And so she'll jump in to try to sort of FE muss things up with the FE a little bit, or change the FE angle on it to check me. But it's a lack of trust or lack of faith in my instincts. I know what I'm doing. I might get some things wrong occasionally, but if I get chopped off, if I get sort of kept on the safe side of things too much, then it gets annoying. Let's see here. Rowan Morgan, are you an INTP? Rowan Morgan says maybe. Peter Dentist says yes, they would, but in a single step with shun FI if they think it will affect FE by any means. Oh, I do the same with my ISTJ. Well, you need to do that with an ISTJ because they got terrible FE. I don't have that bad at FE. And, it's like if I do err slightly, that's fine because I need a little bit of room to breathe. Do you have FI in your life? How would you answer that question, Spacey?
No.
How would you answer it about me?
Yeah, you probably do.
What does it mean to have FI in your life?
It means you have a sense of what's important to you.
I think you do too. Is TE polar connected to having excellent critical thinking skills since they won't accept TE facts? I personally disagree with this, but I've heard this argument made before, so I'm curious. TE polar is not connected to having excellent critical thinking skills. INFJs may have very passable or even better than passable critical thinking skills. And they may even have, they may be very good debaters, good TI. But that's not because of DE polar, it's because of NITI instead of SITI. ISFJs are unlikely to be said to have excellent critical thinking skills in general, and in fact, they can be quite stubbornly dismissive of the concerns of critical thinking.
Yeah, an INTI can be a pretty powerful engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can. I'm glad you've got your panicky FI in check, Eric. Y in parentheses. What does Y in parentheses mean?
Oh, like...
Yes. I'm glad you got your panicky FI in check, Eric. Y in parentheses. Zandy, are you an INFJ? I don't think Zandy is an INFJ. She might be, though. I think she might be an ENFJ. Or she might be an ISFJ. I don't know what she is. I've never talked to her before. I'm with you on that one, Sferdy, says Peter. On which one? The third one on the right. I meant someone around you. Haha. I have some people in my life. Sure, I'm not alone. I've got plenty of people in my life. I've got more people in my life than I know what to do with. I've got my daughter, both my parents, Kimberly, Stacy. What more do you need? My ISFJ mom usually thinks well, but doesn't come to a good truth that's effective. Right. Well, it's weird the way the TE polar can simply ignore the fact that a given question is meaningless without a solvency frame. But I know Kimberly's capable of doing it frequently. It's a thumb. Oh, I see. And so what's the message of the thumb? Thumbs are good? Oh my God, I can be totally unproductive and listen to you guys. This is so sad. That's not unproductive listening to us. Your ears are producing things right now for you. You know what they're producing? Results. You know what's the kind of results? Good results. Friendships are amazing. I just like to read just that part of your comment.
Friendship is magic.
Yeah. I like the way Rowan put it. Friendships are amazing. Oh, INTJ and INFJ friendships. Really? INTJ and INFJ friendships are amazing.
Yes, since when?
Well, I guess the question is, on what metric do they amaze you? What do you think the best way to tackle all the bad ESFJ habits? For example, overly ethical, always right, complex, IDC, WYM. I just feel. What's WYM? IDC is I don't care. What's WYM?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I just feel okay. You're so caught up in catastrophizing over your relationship ending, your strange family super anxious. Well, it's like I said, it's like I thought it was going to end, but unless Kimberly had some sort of catharsis, which she really did. And things have been different since. FI people, Eric. Do you have FI people in your life? Oh.
I don't think I really do.
My dad's ESTJ. And
is an ESTJ really an FI person?
Yeah, they're FI people for sure. That's about it, really. That's the only FI person I got in my life, really. There are things I disagree with you on in the INFP video, but I don't want to spam with them as comments, so I don't know. Yeah, that's Freddie. I'm sure of course, it gets spattering a thumbs down, some disagreement. I make a couple jokes about FI. It's not exactly jokes. I sort of believe those things. Sometimes I'm sort of half joking. And then it's to a certain extent, it's simply I don't understand FI very well. Is Spacey high as a kite right now? No, I don't think so.
Probably not anymore, but I'm on a decent amount of Adderall now, so I probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Would you say you're low as an anchor?
We're going to have to fix that.
Are you low as an anchor?
Yeah, I'm pretty low right now.
What's lower than an anchor? Australia. Are you low as Australia? The entire community is screwed up with their ideas of amazing. I need more intuitive friends in real life. Why? This is realer than real life, even. It's the realest life that reality ever lived. Spacey looks a little like Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal. The name sounds very familiar, but I don't have any idea who that is.
I don't think I look anything like him. His eyes are like twice the size of mine.
The entire community is screwed up with their ideas of amazing.
He's got chubby cheeks.
Wait. Did you answer my question about quasi-identical relationships? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. The answer is no. I didn't even know you'd ask such a question. Quasi-identicals. What's an example of a quasi-identical relationship? It would be... What's quasi-identical, Tracy? Do you know?
Is that just when you switch the P and the J?
So, like, ENTP, ENTJ?
Yeah.
Is that quasi-identical?
I don't remember.
Somebody help me with the quasi-identical. You were right? Where did it say that?
Yeah.
Where did
Someone
it say?
Confirmed at the bottom. Scroll down.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know. Actually, I don't see the answer. Okay, well, whatever. I will answer your question. What do I think about that kind of a relationship? I think that, there's going to be conflict for sure if they're trying to do anything. They're not going to really be friends, but they're being kind of collegial with each other. They'll find each other useless. Like, I find ENTJs useless, even though they're the most useful people imaginable. Why? Because I don't need their kind of help. I probably do, but I don't want it at all. Well, see, that's not necessarily true either, because I have heard some really good advice from ENTJs occasionally that I think, okay, I'm going to follow that. But usually the experience is, like, ENTJs will try to explain to me how I need to collapse the channel down into something that's just one thing. It's like, no. Don't you understand this? It's not fun. You don't get that that's not fun. What do you think about ISFP? My dad's an ENTP, my mom's an ISFP. Your dad's a lucky man. Is he still with that woman? Conflicting relationship been together since the beginning of time. Well, it's because your dad just is like, if nothing else, I'm just fucking the shit out of this woman. You know, ISFPs are inherently sexy.
Well, and that's why it's hard for them to stay monogamous, so to speak. So,
yeah.
Congrats to your mom. Mine couldn't really keep her
vagina in her pants.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if it do stay together, your ENTP dad is probably very frustrated by your mom's inability to communicate. But I'm sure your mom's very frustrated by your dad's inability to have an emotional intelligence beyond that of a two-year-old or a toddling toddler.
You know, ISFPs can be surprisingly autistic sometimes. It's actually pretty funny.
Well,
like, they'd be like, wait, what did I say? Why are you so mad? Like,
well, I've said before and I'll repeat it again. When I'm spending time with just me and an ISFP, half the time I feel like I'm the only adult in the room, and half the time I feel like the only child in the room. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it as a relationship, ENTPs and ISFPs. I would recommend ENTPs and ISFJs, even though my own ENTP ISFJ relationship is probably on the more difficult side. So I skipped a bunch of shit here, so let's see here. I'm glad everything worked out and your FI calmed down. I'm glad too, Face Frame. I hate being in my FI. Here's an FI exercise for you, Eric. Articulate reason why ESFPs are awesome and valuable.
Don't worry, Eric. We'll fix your chicken coop in the morning.
Facey,
I know the kids wanted that one.
Is that why ESFPs are awesome and valuable? That doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, I see. Sen says, yeah, they in the woods too, mountains. Callie Spacey says, don't worry, Eric, we'll fix your chicken coop in the morning. As Spacey hugged Eric from the back. Oh, you were taking stage directions.
Trying to do some Brokeback Mountain here.
You were taking stage directions. Okay, reasons why ESFPs are awesome and valuable. Well, they're steadfast in their regularity.
ESFPs?
Yeah.
Oh, you totally want them to have your back, like, when push comes to shove.
Right, they're steadfast. Naruto's an ESFP. Enough said. You know. That's it by O.
The internet always says he's an ENFP, I think. But
wrong, obviously wrong. Super
probably
wrong.
An ESFP. He really does act.
He's so ESFP. And great, you know. But the thing is, that's the kind of world the ESFP needs to be in. A world where they're fighting spirit.
Fighting for survival and dominance, right?
You know, like learning martial arts moves, and your indomitable spirit gets to you to master the new magical spells and yada yada.
Right.
Why are they valuable? I mean, everybody's valuable, at least in regard to their value to other people, individual personal relationship values. So if they're somebody's kid or somebody's wife or somebody's husband, they're valuable in that regard.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
That's not very nice. And what else is it? I don't know, Freddy. I hate that game. Game's stupid. Okay, no offense, Freddy. Sorry, I said that your game was stupid. I want to get in INFP trouble. Freddy's going to make me go sit in the corner. Off topic, but I was watching Indiana Jones movies today. Good decision, Sandy. And I was like, this guy is his own duel. He behaves like an INFJ and a professor, but he does that SE down of exploring behavior like an HP. Yeah, it's a good observation, Sandy. Good observation. When you're Indiana Jones, you're your own motherfucking duel. Yeah, this is the lit life, real as fuck. It is. This is what you would call this, if you were to call it something accurately, is big pimpin'.
I need to find Harrison Ford and learn the secret of being my own duel.
Yeah, I think it's archaeology. Zandy, are you an INFJ? Yeah, Zandy, what the hell are you anyway? Some lizard person? INFP plus Adderall equals God mode.
Zandy's an ISFJ.
INFP plus Adderall equals watch out, Sudoku. I'm coming for you. What do you think about ISFP? My dad's an ENTP, my mom's an ISFP. I already read that. INFJ live in La Vida Loca. That means the crazy life. Like ISFJ and ISFP are also living La Vida Loca. Because I have to come online for interesting discussions surrounded by SE DOMs and fun. I mean, you don't like it when they punch you in the arm? Lighten up, bro. It's funny. Wow, there's a lot. I'm way behind. Way behind. I gotta hurry up.
You're way behind, bro.
I'm probably an INFP. You are, Freddie. But I can't relate to being super sensitive or emotional, so IDK. You're an INFP. Null Ed says question mark. Knowledge says question mark about what? I don't know. The last thing he said. Yes, Lamau. Haha, that's on point. Freddie Chandran, you read as INFJ when I see your comments. I don't think so. It would make sense to collapse the channel down to a more structured format. It would allow you to make more money, I think. Thanks, Blue Nowhere. Just what I love to hear. I would answer, but I don't know what either means at Winston's mom. They both mean four. Here's an extra FI exercise. I already read that one. I gotta get way back up here. Do you have large soulful eyes and like to stand in the woods and discuss your feelings? I think my eyes are not that large or soulful. I do love standing in the woods, discussing my feelings, completely naked. My secret getaway, my air time. I recommend, says just me. I recommend as well. I don't know what we're recommending. Hopefully I didn't recommend something bad. Do you have anime eyes? No. INFP. Ha. Sandy, fairy elf, or wizard queen? Which costume suits you? Could you be a wizard elf or a fairy queen? Kawaii. Over Eric's head. Yes, I'm not sure what it was over my head, but it was so far over my head I didn't even know anything was flying overhead. Was that Sling Blade inspired? Not on my end. Angantir, do you know about boys in Japan, Kentucky? What a strange sentence. Angantir, do you know about the boys in Japan, Kentucky? I don't talk about my feelings. Wizard Queen, lol? Or would you say that you are a wizard lady in waiting? Bloke back bros. I know all my coworkers types 100% sure of them, but I'm not sure how to approach and tell them. Say, hey, listen, fuckface, you're an ESTJ. That's what's wrong with you. We go to the next one. See the same thing.
Why would you tell them that?
I have sleepy eyes. Angantir has sleepy eyes. Sten says ESFPs. Funny AF? No. I don't think they're very funny type. They don't make very many jokes or anything. And I think you know which type would be receptive of them. Receptive of whom? I don't know. I don't know what anybody's talking about around here. I'm confused as fuck.
ESFPs can actually be pretty fucking funny, dude. But not like telling jokes. They just...
Well, okay, laughing at them for their ways is not They're not being funny.
No, it's not even just like making fun of them. Like they're just like my sister. She just says the funniest shit sometimes. I don't know how to explain it.
If you play dress up, do you want to be creative or fancy? Creative for sure. Creative or fancy? Creative. So, I mean, I don't mind dressing up for like a fancy show with a suit and tie occasionally, but generally I want to be creative and fun dressing. I'm sure you're not asking me, but I'm answering anyway. Zandy, I called it too. I was right. Naruto's an ESP. Absolutely is. And all the best qualities of ESFPs are best displayed by Naruto. I love the impulsivity of ESFPs, Lamau. I don't. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I don't need it in my life. I've got enough impulsivity on my own. Polar TI in general is funny AF while trying to be, not by accident, not at being laughed at. I'm a little bit confused by that, but that's not the first time I've been confused. Think of Audrey Hepburn versus Katharine Hepburn. Which one of them is the one that talks like this? That was Katharine Hepburn, I believe. TWFP is my favorite anime. Mine too. TWFP is my favorite porno. Mine too.
It's pretty steamy.
It is. Oh yeah, it gets steamy around here. ESFPs and ENFPs remind me that there's hope for humanity because they genuinely care about people and their well-being. Yeah, I mean, but they can carry them all the way to the grave sometimes, you know. Weapons? What weapons would each type wield? I shall wield the flaming torch, while you will wield a battle axe. He's going to get the club. And I will also take the brass knuckles, and then June can get a dagger. Do you watch anime, Spacey? Asks Zandy.
I haven't watched it in a while. I used to have a friend that I watched it with because he's really into like Japanese culture and anime and shit. Like I think he's literally marrying a woman from Japan at this point. Basically, if my friends who like anime more than me recommend one very highly, then I'll watch it. Basically, like I like a good anime as much as the next guy. I just most of it is like full of too many tropes and shit for me. It's just like really kind of tacky.
Have you ever seen host Eric Lord of the Tongues?
I've seen Kung Pao Enter the Fist with that. You remember the tongue?
You ever see Bo?
I've watched it a couple times.
That was a funny show. Those are weird ones.
Funny sometimes, yeah.
Might be one way you can have both. Well, but sure. But if you're gonna limit your dress to fanciness, then you're limiting your scope of creativity as well.
I think the last anime I watched was One Punch Man, which was fucking rad.
One Punch Man.
I love that one.
Did he hit people with one punch and knock them out?
Yeah.
Let's see here. IFAP's anime characters. I don't. Present the MBTI to your boss in a way that makes him think it's evidence that he is awesome somehow, and let it roll from there. Ooh, God. Have I ever told you you are the rarest type? Eric, is it not creepy for someone to sit just behind you?
I thought I was the rarest type until I realized that INTPs are fucking everywhere, like cockroaches.
No, only online it seems like that a little bit. Oh, I'm so far behind. I gotta hurry up fast. Horse mumbler. Tell us about your new style and will it include a hat? Zandy's living on the edge. Kawaii means cute. Jap Tucky, says Peter Dennis. I'm thinking of it as Copper Age Chic. At least until Copper Age Chic's a great style. Horse mumbler. At least until I can come up with something cooler saying. Basically, it's made out of penannular brooches and cashmere blankets. What are penannular brooches? Be aware of people driving 300 kilometers per hour and saying things like life is meaningless. I'm assuming that's fast. During medieval times, we considered public hanging, torture, stoning, etc. to be legitimate punishments because we considered justice. Nowadays, we find it repugnant modern punishments. Need to be subject to the same scrutiny. I mean, I agree. I think in general, the criminal justice system hands out too strong punishments for crimes, and they're disproportionate to the crimes. And sometimes that the only crime that's occurring is the administering of this punishment to somebody who doesn't deserve it. And by and large, I'm sure I agree with you, but that doesn't mean that it's never the case that a punishment is just. ENFPs laugh or giggle when they talk. I don't know about that. Maybe some of them. Is Son Goku and ESFP2? I'm not really familiar with that cartoon well enough to say. The hat is a green felt boss of the planet, plains style. Fedora would work too, but it's got to be a real fedora, not some short brim trilby. Are you talking shit about my hat? Oh my god. Kuki Yamane. I don't know what that is. Why would you tell them that? I know how to fix them, but they won't listen to advice that comes out of thin air, so I want to use the objectivity of their type style with them.
You can frame the qualities about them that you are observing in a typology based framework. You can frame it in ways that use more colloquial terms. Is that the word I'm looking for here? Like, you just have to use terminology that they're familiar with.
I mean, most people would say, okay, it's reasonable for you to maybe, if you know a lot about typing, to say that you know what type I am. But even if they were to acknowledge that, they would probably take offense to the notion that you know how to fix them, right?
So you just have to say, like, here's an observation I've made about you. You're this kind of person. And just see if they're willing to agree with that, basically. You have to kind of...
Hold on a second, Spacey. Matt Rabahi says hi.
Oh, hello.
Just want to make sure we got that out.
Hi, Matt.
EXFPs know how to engage in self-deprecating humor. Moreover, with countervalued FE, they like making people laugh, but they don't care about their reputation, which makes them charming. Okay. The trouble with trilbies, I adore green velvet and will settle for felt in the tradition. Does this mean the TWFP is hentai? Maybe. Almost finished watching Evangelion, deepest shit ever. It's not like I think they're flawless, but I think that poor TI gets a bad rap, so I want to speak in their defense. Haha. Okay. ENFPs definitely care about reputation, but I'm annoying, nagging way. But in an annoying, nagging way. ENFPs you think don't care about reputation, this Freddie? Eric, it's not creepy if somebody sit behind you.
Well, Eric, if you move a little to the left, I think I'll be able to see the chat at least.
It might be spooky though, but then you won't be able to be seen in the camera.
That's true.
We've got a conundrum.
Don't we?
We've got a conundrum inside of a dilemma.
Conundrums on top of conundrums.
On top of dilemmas.
Can you just put the camera on top of the TV? Does it reach?
On top of your mom's face. How many times has baby's mom's face fallen on top of the ground? 500 million times at least fallen on top of the ground. There, that's better.
Wait, what? What's so hard about sitting with me behind you? I don't understand people.
I don't think there's anything hard about it.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not difficult. Nobody's saying you had to practice a lot to sit behind me. Okay, so let's see here. Where was I? What is your favorite hat that you own and wear? Do you honor a hat with a name? Matt Arabahi. Who's seen Seven Deadly Sins? I haven't. Vladimir Putin. If someone wants to see the most INFP-like person ever on YouTube, type in Lily Bichu. Okay. Basil Esposito. Bo was my childhood. It was my child's childhood too. She's 20. It was on when she was a kid. We'd probably watch it with her. Adrian B. Oof. So fast it's going today. Or maybe I'm going so slow. Adrian B, it would be impossible for me to sit with spaces behind me like that. Good observation. Season 2 coming out soon, I think. Not too much. They value people with their F5, but they really aren't super invested when everybody thinks of them, and they don't try to control people's perceptions. At Peter Dennis, it says, the one, the only, Sweaty Chandvin. Angantyr, Vinland Saga looks good so far. Horse Mumbler 1. INTP scatter when exposed to light. Basil, the cockroach.
Like vampires.
The cockroach is my spirit animal. Matt, I feel you. Matt. Even in text, people can't pronounce your name right. It's Sweaty Chandran. Okay? Not Sutri. Who would name their kid Sutri? Sweaty is a perfectly sensible name, but Sutri? Might as well name him Petri Dish. Matt's going to name his first daughter Petri Dish. Thanks, Matt. That's really doing a favor to the world. Sweaty, I agree with the FE atmosphere, but they hold their reputation and their FI of how they are viewed by others as a person.
You have to say thonk.
I bet he didn't. How tall is everyone? That's an impossible question to answer. They're all different heights. Everyone doesn't have a height. Only individual people do. What are people's eye colors? They range from brown to black to blue. Honk. Matt Rabhabawi. Why the random questions? Because he's ENFP.
Might as well honk, Eric. We live in clown world.
Honk.
After all, right?
Oh, Sinjin's here, buddy. Ever stop honking? Sinjin's here.
Right. Mr. Serious Man.
GI Polar is fine mostly until they get Dunning-Kruger effect and start thinking they're TI users. Then it's double facepalm time. Let me just stick the double in there right now, TJ. Got to double up those facepalms. A penannular brooch is like an annular brooch, but with a gap. Oh, I see. It looks like a C instead of an O. So O-looking brooches are annular? Is it because they look like an anus? That's interesting. You want some community interaction. I'll interact with your community, man. Come on. Let me fondle your community. Blue eyes and 6'6". I'm 6'5", and my eyes are the color of poo.
Hey, mine too.
Winston's mom's 5'6" and green. Let's be open. Okay, I'll be open. I'm open tonight. I'm very pretty indeed, aren't I? I put on my prettiest face tonight. Ty Spacey. Ty. Knowledge. At Sinjin, maybe so. Who watches Frank James? I watch Frank James occasionally. Hazel, mostly green, orange, 6'2". Matt Rabahi. Beautiful. Beautiful. If you open Pandora's box, will Schrodinger's cat bite you? No, but Pandora's cat might. Does it have venom? Who's a lady? I'm a lady. If it's dead, will you become a zombie? I'll become a zombie. What type is Frank James? I'm Frank James. Ha ha ha, thanks. I got a shout out. You sure did, Matt. Rabahi.
Frank James he's one of the few males who I've seen capitalize on that effect that a lot of YouTube girls have, where it's like, I'm so hot that I just get views.
Yeah, it's basically me and Frank James can capitalize on that.
Like, yeah, I got to admit.
When I want to,
looking dude.
When I want to max out my views, I do my thumbs. I give the viewers my coquettish face. Like this. And the views like triple. People love it. There seems to be a general connotation that TI polar equals stupid. I think it's inaccurate, quite unfair. Well, it's unfair. It is unfair. Let's leave it at that. They are so behind on comments. We are. Sorry. 5'5", green fading to yellow and banded with blue. TI polar just doesn't think before they act. Glad you're here, Zaylin. You're here to set us straight. Zaylen Black is in the house. Clap if you believe in Zaylen. Clap on the 2, 4. 1, 4. Clap, clap. Thanks, Zaylen, says with a smiling face. Matt Rebahi, ENFP. What you guys? I'm an ENTP. Spacey here is an INTP. My wife, Kimberly, is an ISFJ. Peter Dentist is, I think, an INFJ, if I remember correctly. Horse Mumbler is an NTP of some sort. I'm not sure if he's I or E. I never really asked him. Zaylen says she's ISTJ. Who is drinking? I'm drinking water. I don't drink alcohol. However, that doesn't mean that I don't have a bong head on top. Yes, I do. Who would like me to transubstantiate it for them? Who thinks they're deserving of a transubstantiated bong rip tonight? So far, let's see. That's not too
reading
bad.
every single comment and just address a pertinent question.
How am I have to read every comment. What do you mean? Matt is escalating. Matt is escalating what? Oh, he's escalating to alcohol? Okay, I'll skip down. Bye, everyone. It was lovely chatting with you. It was lovely chatting with you, Freddie Chandra. And it was absolutely lovely being the recipient of that adjective as well.
We love you, Freddie Chandran.
Has my daughter supervised Spacey yet? She's ESTP, right? I don't know. Have you hung out with Delilah yet?
Not really. Just that one time at your dad's house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't really see her supervising me much. I see her kind of trying, but like she's kind of a decent bit younger than me and like a woman.
Yeah, she's 20 and a girl.
So
good luck with that, huh?
Yeah.
Good luck. 20-year-old girl.
Right?
She's actually kind of a force of will to be reckoned with. But
more importantly, she might want to get in my pants. So
she might.
That's the real.
She might. I'd be highly in favor of that.
A girl who wants to get in your pants is probably not going to try to supervise you, regardless of what type she is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what how that goes amongst you young peoples. I don't even know how it goes amongst us old people. So
I don't know how it goes amongst us young people anymore. It seems to change every like 3 years.
I think Hambone, that's a good euphemism though. We can use that to check up on the progress. You can just say, "Has your daughter supervised Spacey yet?" Meaning, did she conquer him with her ESTP puss?
Jesus.
I think she's either sort of broken up or did break up with her boyfriend, Ricardo. I asked her about it the
Every
other day.
INTP really needs an ESTP femdom girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal.
Sweet,
having a tool.
Sweet dreams, Freddie Chandran. Winston's mom, you are so considerate to wish her sweet dreams. That will make her dreams at least 4% sweeter than they otherwise would have been. And, you know, Freddie's been known to have some sour dreams, some tart dreams, even some umami dreams. I apologize for the mispronunciation. Well, I should hope so. How do I stop the feels? How do you stop the feels? Quick answer for you. Adderall helps. It really does.
It actually does.
It shuts them right down. IDK man. I have too many hats for a favorite. My coolest hat is Fatty Teddy's hat. It's a Brazilian Indiana Jones hat. Annular means circular or cyclical, and annum is 1 year because it's the Earth going around one circle around the anus. Oh, I'm going to try some tea. Good for you. Just what everybody wants to know that you're interested in tea. Where am I going here? Where am I? You pronounced my name Forrester. I'm very happy. Matt Rabahi? Rabbit who. Do one gets more balanced or more unbalanced the older one gets? It didn't really change for me until I got with my dual. Then I got more balanced. In general, I'm more balanced in relationships than I'm single. Photoshop yourself next to an anime girl. Target a whole new demographic. I did notice I got maybe some comments on the thumbnail. I got at least one comment on the thumbnail on where I put that anime picture. I just grabbed a random picture from Google.
Anime pictures will automatically pull in a lot of young people.
That's a good point. Maybe I should make the thumbnail for this an anime picture. I could get a picture of, I could get one of those.
Compare how many more views your anime pictures get.
I get like a super sexualized picture of Hinata or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Tsunade with her big old titties. Oh, yeah. Tsunade. I don't care how old you are, you're looking good with that special spell you got. Today's the day I conquer Tsunade. Tsunade, I want you to meet something in my pants called my tsunami. My tsunami of penis. Ready to experience the undertow of a tsunami of penis? I hope so. Don't be using that jutsu on me. This is the sort of thing I think about as I go to bed at night. It does, though. Like, it's not a hat to be used lightly. It's basically what got me my cowboy job. Hats are important. Does Cody ring a lariat? Doesn't escalating mean freaking out in a good way? Oops, haha. IHP, I'm too slow to be an E. Eric, I remember randomly watching your videos for the first time because of one of Enid F. Patterson's videos. We were getting along fine, and then I pissed her off or something. I said, I think she ended up being wrong about something, if I remember correctly. And you know how it is when people are wrong about things, and I knew a guy who did a show Lariat. He taught me the basics. The basics of Lariat. Doing Matt great, got a new girl. How's the wife? Eric, don't you like Peterson very much? I don't dislike him. He's fine. He's critical of his forward use of TE, assuming it works for Wolves. Universally. For Wolves. Stan, I wonder sometimes if medicine is trying to fast track an abstract thinker into thinking in a linear fashion. My children are both on the cutting edge of ADHD and the gifted with computers. I don't know. ADHD is just a lot of extroverted something. I say cowboy, but I was really just a horse boy. Oh, you didn't have any cows.
I don't know. It seems like ADHD, like 8 out of 10 times, is just SE or NE. Right?
Look, I made it to the end.
Oh shit! We made it to the end.
What?
Come on, guys, give us something more.
Have you ever seen the movie Urban Cowboy? Fun movie. I grew up on cowboys and Indians. I was an Apache Cochise, of course. Yeah, I'm a Native American myself.
We're like an INTJ while on. I guess I can see that.
I definitely feel more like an INTJ while on it, but just more energized, of course. I look like an INTJ while on it too. I get zoned in and definitely become worse at multitasking. I like the vernacular cutting edge. Favorite movie? I usually answer this question with one of two answers. One of the answers I give is Princess Bride. The other answer I give is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Princess Bride is a movie that like everybody universally seems to love.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, you can't not like that movie.
Oh, I'm from a little tribe called the Arki Indian tribe. Just me and these two other guys decided to start it. The government is encouraging people to start their own Indian tribes now because how the regular Indians are going extinct because of their late onset puberty.
Yeah, we need to repopulate the Native American tribes.
Yeah, the Native Americans, they didn't enter puberty until their late 40s, and it's really caused a decline in their population. So I signed up to become my own Indian tribe. I'm part of the Arcadia Indians. They call me the Scout. They call me Hawkeyes of the Plains. I could spot a buffalo 300 miles away. Pretty good. But here's the thing. When it's the middle of winter, your whole tribe's starving. You're in your teepees and you hear this little papooses wailing and the squaws sobbing quietly. And you're looking and you finally you're like, there's one, there's a buffalo. But it's 300 miles away. Doesn't do you much good. Trail of Tears indeed. Trail of Tears. What's that short guy type from Princess Bride who thinks he's smarter than everybody else? Inconceivable. That guy? I don't know. I don't know. What type is that guy? The inconceivable guy? ESTJ?
I could see him as an ESTJ, but yeah, I guess so. It's hard when there's such caricatures.
Yeah. Matt, what are you planning? Matthew says, at least puberty is here. Yeah, thank God for that. Thank God for puberty. Now that I've hit puberty as a Native American, you notice I've grown this nice, rich, full beard. I can begin to mate with my squaws. I've got a whole teepee full of squaws out back, and I just go out there and hump my way from sunset till sunup, trying to make up for lost time.
Lost time.
Populate the plains again with my noble people. When my babies are born, I hand them tomahawk in one hand, bow and arrow in the other hand, headdress the other hand.
I'm really not a very hairy person at all.
You're not hairy?
No.
Well, just wait till you hit puberty. Try glucosamine.
I still have hair on my head.
Crontroden for a bad knee. As if. Who would try that? Glucosamine Crontroden. Sounds like a super villain. Good for partying. Are you telling me the glucosamine Crontroden is good for partying?
I don't know what that is.
Too hairy to live, too bony to die. Hambone's got a thicket. Hambone sports a thicket. Had to use garden shears and a chainsaw to trim his pubes today. Be careful down there with the chainsaw. Real careful. Takes a steady fucking hand, let me tell you.
What, to use a chainsaw?
Chainsaw to trim your pubes? Yeah. That's sketchy business right there. Let me tell you, Hambone. You're a braver man than I. If you party on your knees, it OS.
Oh, I want to try using your torch to trim my pubes.
That would be a better idea. Eric, can I be an ISFP if I just find the right threads and feel like it hard enough? Yes. A good thing it's made of steel. Your extremely large penis is made of steel. I see. Well, must have been bad for the chainsaw. What cigs do you smoke? Or you quit? I recently just started calling instead. Who do you call? Like, have a cigarette? Nah, I'm gonna call Bob. Alright. What kind of cigarettes do I smoke? America's Finest. The American Marlboro Red cigarette. This time in box. Normally, I will enjoy the soft pack, but in this instance, I got box. The finest cigarette money can buy, the best, only available in America. If you buy foreign versions of the Marlboro Red cigarette, you are not getting the real American Marlboro Red cigarette. There is no better. It's got just the right amount of chemical bite in the lungs. It's got a vigorous, rigorous, meaty, hearty, chemically chlorine-y kind of. It's like got a little bit of twig in it or something.
People want to see the. It's a alien meditating in a forest of giant mushrooms on some distant planet, and there's an owl. Ooh.
Yeah. Just like my backyard. I like owls. Although I will always smoke cigs when I'm going out, bear talks happen when drunk.
It's a good festival shirt.
And go to have a smoke and talk. Bear talks, huh?
I need more shirts like this.
What are bear talks?
Bear talks?
Yeah. See what Matt Rabbit says.
Best talks.
Oh,
yeah, it looks great under a black light, Winston's Bomb.
So
that's what it's made for.
So any is ideating. Why did you choose the word action? I think you said talking to. Hard for me to imagine. I'm leading with action. What is form of action? You know, it's not knowledge. It's not deliberation. It's not interface. It's a kind of action that goes with either TI or FI. Just like SE is the kind of action that goes with either TI or FI. It's putting information rather than getting it or receiving it.
Yeah, didn't we did mushrooms the week I got here.
Yeah, we should do that again. So
yeah, I want to do them again.
I'll call that dude. Or I'll call Delilah to call that dude. Sweet shirt merchandise. American Spirit is objectively better. It's got a red man on it, but just a red label. Marlboro Menthol Full Flavor 100s were my poison, all 3 packs a day. Facey, are you into mushroom magic? How about you, Eric? Yeah, I like mushrooms. Mushrooms are fun. I smoke Port Royal when I'm rich, otherwise Horizon Reds, not sure where else they are sold. Hong Kong. I do like American Spirits, but they literally take 30 minutes to smoke one.
Would you ever pay an extra price for like some kind of premium cigarette? I don't understand that.
Smokers, do you know about signing up for the Marlboro Ranch trips and the coupons, etc.? They send some fun stuff. I should keep all those little slips of paper that come with the cigarettes. I just always throw them away. I mix wine with my weed, and smoking weed straight makes me cough more. You mix mine with my weed. You mix your what?
No, coffee's my liquid drug of choice when I'm mixing with weed. I mean, booze is fine too.
This is I mix mine. I thought it said wine.
Wine's a pretty good, but I prefer something more like whiskey, I guess.
I don't want a black light. This sounds too sensory. California parenting is awesome. We'll call it the mushroom dude. I mean, I've got a great daughter. You know, she helps me. She's a wonderful child.
You want to get more tobacco for your dollar. That's true, Peter. If that's the case, then you got to factor that into the price, obviously.
Isaiah Rude, you have defined your dominant function NE as being something you cannot switch off. My TI seems to be very strong, but it isn't something that's always active. Is that indicative of a non-TI dom? Well, I don't really know, Isaiah Rude. I don't know, because TI being a deliberation function may be turned offable in a way that NE is not. I don't know.
My best guess is that when you think it's off, it's not really off. It has a mode where it's like running, it's like an ambient process, kind of like something you could leave running on your computer overnight.
Yeah. Like a really,
it's like always
really
chewing
slow
through.
ambient
Yeah,
house
it's always
track.
chewing through like data that you've already collected over and over and over and over again. Just running scans.
Christian crack is not regular crack. It depends if it's blessed or not. If it's halal and blessed and kosher, then it's Christian crack. Agree, I need to be a co-host. Spacey.
Yo, has anyone ever been to one of those halal fried chicken places? That shit is good.
Will de-Trump 1 in E? What does that mean? Blessed. Win next election. Oh. Will
Most
Trump?
likely, yes.
Spacey says yes.
Count on it.
I hope not, but I don't really. I can't think. I don't think of any other candidate who's probably going to win. You know. How you been, Zandy? I've been very sexy, Matthew. Oh yeah. What are you wearing? I'm wearing those sexy clothes that you like so much. Oh yeah. You mean that 2-piece bikini I sent you in the mail? Yeah, I'm wearing it right now. I'm swimming in the
She
pool.
wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
She did. That's what she's wearing, Matthew. Ike's Love Sandwiches has good halal. Ike's Love Sandwiches, huh? Them seem kind of retarded right now. Yeah, they do seem a little retarded right now. Khakis. I'm wearing this sweatshirt. I'm also wearing this regular shirt. I'm also wearing these pants and my flip-flops. If we put googly eyes on the shadow behind Spacey, what would it look like? The shadow or the googly eyes? Matthew doesn't know that I still care for him and his humor. Oh. Matthew, she still cares for you and your humor.
ISTP still likes to improvise. Yeah, why doesn't SE improvise, Eric? Like NE does?
Because it's... Look, I mean... An SE tool user or DOM is probably going to like to improvise on a purely physical forum. So in a soccer game, that SE DOM is going to be the one who makes the play to burst out of the other soccer players and streak towards the goal and shoot the goal and score it. An improvisational act of brilliance. Or say so too with basketball player or whatever else. That kind of improvisation is the natural domain of an SE user. And another kind of improvisation is the natural domain of the SE user. My friend Sarah, she's like, okay, well, I'm going on vacation here. And the person I thought I was going to go with, she's not going anywhere, so I'm going by myself because I still have the plane ticket. You know, before she gets to her destination, on the way there, on the flights and layovers and shit, she manages to hook up such that when she lands, she's meeting up with somebody to get a big fat bag of cocaine. You know, that's SE improvisation right there. I'm leaving on this trip. I don't got any drugs. I'd love to end up somehow having drugs by the end of this flight period. So when I get off the plane, I got drugs. You know, Sarah's just like, I can just sort of imagine how she must do it. She must sort of look around. Who's the druggie around here? And she just go over there. Hey, I can hear her saying it.
She seems like so much
I'm
fun.
Sarah.
Dude, oh my God.
That's improvisation too, you know.
Right.
The thing is, that's the kind of improvisation I think of as improvisation is speaking improvisationally and teaching off the cuff and stuff like that I do. So it's true that there is SEI improv.
It really is that language base that seems inherent to any, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I found an old Trump board game. The slogan was, "It's not whether you win or lose, but whether you win." That's a good slogan. Little Peep, he's not bad. He has an occasional bit of rap-tastical.
He's one of those mumble rappers, right?
No, he's not a mumble rapper.
Oh, okay.
He raps about being a drug addict.
Well, there's Lil Xanny or whatever. Lil Xan. He obviously raps about being a drug addict.
Lil Xan.
Yeah.
Oh, Lil Peep's the one who's dead? Oh, okay.
He's the one who died.
Who's the one
he was that filthy communist. Okay.
I wish I had corn dogs and lemonade. Sounds like the beginning of a good song. I wish I had some corn dogs and lemonade. Some lemonade. Put respect on his name, co-host INTP.
He never earned any respect from me.
Well, he is dead. I mean, you know what I always say, good shakes grace the dead.
No, he's been dead for a while now. Grace period's over.
You know, you don't want to bring any slab negation. You don't want to bring any slab negativity about your own shoulders.
Fair enough.
Lil Autistic. Is there a rapper called Lil Autistic?
There should be.
That's a good name.
Or like Lil Savant.
Some lemonade and take round the truck.
Oh, there was an EDM artist who went by Savant, who I think is autistic. He makes pretty good electronic music, though. Little autist. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
What about a little retard? There's an Estonian metal band called Autism.
There's a
Hi, Susie.
Punk artist I liked who went by J Retard.
The tailgate's down. See you on the ground. Call me big dude. Yo, yo, ma, ma. If you like yo, yo, ma, then you enjoy some cello music. Another thing I wonder is, do you, with FI Polar, really not put yourself in others' shoes? I think I do that at times. I do not like focusing on my feelings, but I do feel sorry for someone else. Oh, sure, I feel sorry for people. Putting yourself in another person's shoes is different than feeling sorry for people. Like, putting yourself in another person's shoes, I think of it as saying, okay, I'm legitimate in busting this person's chops, but I'm not going to because I'm imagining how I would feel if I were in their position. The thing is, I do concern myself about that, but it's more out of a TI sense of what I would call mutual goodwill that I assume to be present in all my interpersonal relationships. Intellectually challenged. Yo-yo dog. Yo-yo dog. Hi. Call me a little slow. Ham bone. Differently brained. Thanks for clarifying. You're welcome. My clarifications, there's been clarity to that which is opaque and clearness to that which is dirty and wet with moisture. Susie says, anyway, that's moist in here. Well, it's not really moist in here. I say it's pretty dry. Sympathy is empathy with the addition of sorrow and pity. I mean, I don't really like the distinction at all in general, but I would say if there were to be made a meaningful distinction, it would be something along the lines of sympathy is feeling bad because you see somebody is suffering or whatever. Empathy is you identify with the experience yourself and go, okay, I've been there before. Ool Moist is a good rapper name for sure. A little dampness.
Oh, we used to call my friend's grandma Chutney back in middle school.
Ool Moist Tellette. Moist Tellette, just Moist Tellette is a good rap name. I ate the ham, so all that's left is the bone. All that's left is the bone.
I like to make a good stock, like a good bone broth, if I have any bones left over from something.
Lieutenant Mustard and the Colonel Peacock with the ham bone. Well, this room has cheered me up a little bit. I'm glad.
That's good.
Would you say you're 8% more cheerful? And also check your gladness levels. See if your gladness is increased.
Well, if I participated in the cheering up of somebody, then that means that this stream has purpose. There you go.
My name is Moist Tellette. I'm the best rapper yet. Ready, set, don't fret. I'm here to make you all wet. Moist Tellette. I'm damp, motherfuckers. Moist Tellette is good, man. That's a good lyrics right there. We could really get a movement going, I think, behind a rapper named Moist Tellette. You got the pretty boy face for it too. Yeah. When you start rapping about Moist Tellettes, all the girlies are gonna go crazy. Now swing that sweat, cause I'm Moist Tellette.
I don't forget when somebody treats me with genuine kindness, and I usually feel like I owe them something. So I can't really agree with what you said at all there, Zandy. Well, sometimes I do need to be reminded of good things because I start to feel like, like nobody cares about me or whatever, like that kind of shit. But like,
I mean,
when it comes to deeds that were done, then I'm a little bit more transactional there, I guess.
Yeah, I tend to. I don't like to be beholden to anybody.
Right, exactly. I hate owing people things.
So I tend to be the more generous party.
Exactly. You have to err on the side of being the more generous, right?
Yeah. I think Angantir is right. I think STPs do that, maybe. You're saying things I can't visually awkwardly react to, which makes it even more awkward. I am?
I think maybe like an unhealthy NTP can probably end up being really selfish only because they're not thinking about anything other than whatever is occupying them, like.
I'd also say that the thing that sounds unhealthy about that is sort of a persistent desire not to do something for you. I don't have that experience at all. I have no problem doing things for people. I like being...
Yeah, I like doing things for people, like even if they haven't done anything for me. So, yeah.
But the thing is, I do get the idea that I would resist the notion that the good things you've done for me obligates me in some fashion. That if it were obligatory, then it would need to have been consensually determined that it was such. Obviously there's some social obligation that follows naturally. And it's not like I'm one to parse that shit out normally. But, if in fact you were to say, hey, I really need your help on this. And remember I did this and this and this for you. I mean, either we'd not be on the same page, or I'd have been like really lost in my head for a bit and just fucked up badly socially, and I'd have to scramble. I'm so sorry, you're right. I would hate that. I would hate to get that talk. I don't want that talk, for sure, of somebody who legitimately has, oh, remember I helped you with this and this and this, and I really need your help with this, Eric. I do not want to be on the receiving end of that talk. So, yeah, TGFP has always been sponsored by, well, not always moist towelettes. For a while it was damp towelettes. Prior to that, it was humid towelettes. Just it's PG that. I think we try to be grateful, so it's if that's pointed out, I think it'll be kind of offended. Sandy can confirm, based on my experience observing my INTP son, this basically speaking is truth. They are generous in spirit. Selfish is defined differently. Survival versus self-esteem being of use. I second that with my ISTP, acts requiring that, exacerbated by my lack of use of FE, mixed with her poor FE. Also, it's more of self-absorbed. I don't like being guilt-tripped into social obligations. Peter, sympathy does entail pity, but requires neither empathy nor sorrow. Empathy means in emotion. Sympathy is with emotion. One need not share this subjective experience to be in support of it. Theory of reciprocity useful in front of a flower shop. C.S. Joseph talks about unspoken contracts for ENFPs. I wonder if that extends to other types. I mean, look, you got to take certain things with certain amount of certain sodium-like substances. I'd recommend speaking to the aforementioned grains and salt to fill those.
Someone did just say something earlier, though. If I can tell that someone's trying to guilt me into doing something, then I will automatically resist. I'll be like, "Fuck you," both middle fingers.
If what happened? I missed the beginning part of that.
If someone's just trying to guilt me into doing something, like if you don't do this, I'm gonna make you feel bad. Like,
well, that's more of a threat. If they're saying like, Spacey, look, I was really, really hoping that when I did that really nice thing for you, that you'd be willing to maybe help a little bit, maybe care a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of that.
Yeah, that shit's fucking garbage.
See, what you should instead do is, hey, Spacey, can you please do this thing for me?
Right.
That's all I needed.
And we don't like being forced or pressured to do shit. I don't think any NTP does. I don't like that at all either. I don't like being pressured or leveraged into doing shit that I don't want to do. It freaking annoys me.
Well, yeah, we do. Every little thing, like even my mom even used to do this thing, for example, where she'd be like, well, if you want to, you could do this thing that I would find vaguely helpful. Right? It's like, oh, well, I mean, I don't want to, but that's not the point here.
Kim's way of dealing with it is even preferable, I think. She goes, well, I guess I'm going to do this.
Right.
And either I go, I'll do it. Or I go, yep.
See, it's funny. She'll threaten to do something for a very long time before actually doing it.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
A real threat when they're dealing with a TE polar person. Okay, stop.
Yeah, where does C.S. Joseph get off charging $2.75 an hour? Does anybody know? Like, what qualifications does this dude have?
People pay him. That's what he gets off. Yeah. He's a smart guy who charges what people pay him to do the shit. There's a lot of NFPs out there who don't need TI soundness. They just need the sheen of TE, and I feel greatly satisfied by it. I'm sure he's excellent in his protocols.
Yeah, Chris D. It's just I noticed that with ISFPs though. There's always implications and underlying messages and little things going on with when they say stuff to you. It's like everything's being nudged in a certain direction.
Yeah.
They're more clever than you think they are. Chances are.
See, in my family, nobody's trying to anybody ever. My dad isn't trying to meow me. We might have brief conflicts, but nobody in my family will hold that against anybody and use it later on.
Yeah, Eric. Yeah, I had a much more dysfunctional family than you, apparently.
I think just about everybody did. It's weird. Hey, don't knock my NFP tribe like that. Like I'm barely like, bro. I heard that by barely like. I mean, I pay CS just turned $2,750 an hour. He's worth it every penny. You know. My mom's ISFJ. She's very good at guilt tripping. You know, Kimberly's learning my ways. She's learning how to interact with me more successfully.
I think the ISFPs are actually better at getting you to feel the way they want you to feel than ISFJs are.
Right.
That's the thing.
But see, ISFJs purportedly in the ideal manifestation don't really care how you feel. They care what you do.
Exactly. Yeah. They just want to.
They want you to do what they want you to do.
They just want their FE to be effective.
Right. So, Kimmy's having to learn that, and has continued to learn since day one, that I respond way better to backpats than ass kicks.
Well, no. For example, like my mom hit a pothole one time driving, right? And she had a flat tire, and there's like some guy at a company that helps people who need roadside assistance, right? Was on his way to another car that he got called in to help. But my mom flagged him down, right? And she ended up making him feel like he wanted to help us.
I haven't done that in years, right? Since mom.
So it's not just anger. Like, I mean, it helps when you're an ISFP who's an attractive woman who is trying to, manipulate a man.
They don't necessarily feel. They don't feel very manipulative. Like it doesn't feel like you're being manipulated.
No, it doesn't. No, it's
because they're not trying to manipulate you into doing anything other than like have sex with them.
Well, most of the time, I don't even know if they're trying to do that, but they want you to, feel like they might have sex with you at least, so that you'll be more inclined to, do what they want you to do.
These pieces, I doubt ISFPs get you to feel the way they want you to. They just are able to understand it from an FI point of view. I think you underestimate.
Yeah, don't underestimate them.
I think you underestimate what backside FI is like. INFPs make me feel watched and judged. I don't like it. Are you an ENTP? Kind of exaggerating. What were you exaggerating about? Stacey's mom has not got it going on with that shit.
Oh, she's got it going on, trust me.
Look down at your shoes. What kind of shoes do you have on? I got flip-flops on. Matt, rabbit heat. Clayton, absolutely they can see through you. I fell in love with an INFP girl a couple years ago. It was intense. It is intense, isn't it? FI is fucking intense. ISFPs, it's a lot less intense. It's like, I really kind of go with Spacey's idea that ISFPs can tune your emotions a little bit. They'll get your emotions going and then they'll put them back down again. And you can go on about your business and you're not like tripping out about them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
ISPs find me. We have a strange love relationship. They find my head in the clouds absurd, but I understand their SE ways. And everybody's gonna like that in the morning. I understand your SE ways. All right, baby. Let's get it on. Is that your euphemism? I understand your SE ways. You underestimate them. They're just so cute. It's otherworldly. Yeah, I mean, and there's that weird, at least with ENTPs and ISFPs, there's that weird alien thing. Like, you are so alien. Chronic ISFP versus fleeting ISFP. Chronic ISFJ versus fleeting ISFJ. What do those terms mean?
Sounds like gibberish.
Yeah. My best friend ENFJ, but he's basically a call leader. Hey Eric, how are you doing? Hi Curtis. I am doing fine.
Oh, what's up, Curtis?
How are you doing today?
I'm wearing Nikes, just the most normal-ish looking Nikes that I could even find, which is, it's hard to find now. Like, sneakers look fucking weird these days.
Right. I see. Fleeting ISFPs, chronic ISFPs. Normally you don't think of committed relationships as chronic. Typically think it's something you reserve for diseases, but I struggle with when people act as if I was responsible for how they feel right now. I make them feel X, Y, Z. FI too. If they're saying that to you, it's because you're FI polar, and you're like, I can't make you feel like whatever. And it's actually not really true. It's like, I don't know. It's like Mia. You might be an ESFJ, Curtis. ENFP with an older INTJ brother was the best thing. I've been told so many different types, it's hard to pinpoint what people see in me. Chuck Taylor, ISFP is chronically moist. Curtis, man, how you been? Hey, everybody, look. It's Kang Krishna Sarvapagu. Kang Krishna Sarvapagu is here. If you want to address Kang Krishna Sarvapagu, you can simply refer to Kang Krishna Sarvapagu as KKSP.
I'm just gonna call them KKK.
I forget Kan's gender. Is Kan a dude or a chick? I forget. I wonder if ISFPs are where stories of seal keys come from. Perhaps it's just the ISFP seal keys who are worth telling stories about. What are seal keys? I don't know what seal keys are. Hi, Curtis and Can. Who's Can? Oh, that's not how you say his name. No, Can. It's Kang Krishna Sarvapagu, or KKSP. It's Andy Good. I haven't been in one of these live streams in a while. You were in the one earlier today, Curtis, weren't you? Matt, 22. 22 years, 7 months, 3 days old. KKSP. Ho. Land Ho. 31. I'm 48. I suppose fleeting and chronic are often used in describing pain qualities, observing and describing non-judgmentally, see things as they are. Relationships are about more than just pain. Hi, how's to, how's so to, how's so kick the can super parachute. Kang Krishna Sarvapagu says, hi Peter. Seal keys, aren't those mermaid sea seal crossovers? Huh. That was pre-recorded, wasn't it? I don't know. Was it? Oh, it was in the. You participated in one of the premieres? Okay, yeah. I'm trying to type someone I know, and I can't tell if she's an SE user or not. She seems to be one. She's so clumsy and drops shit all the time.
Yeah. From what I can tell, SE users are perfectly capable of dropping shit and banging their head on stuff and stubbing their toes.
Yeah.
And all that shit. So clearly they're not like so goddamn vigilant about every single physical object around them all the time. That must not really be how SE works.
When in doubt, do as Matthew states. Ask yourself, what would Kang Krishna Sarvapagu do? Good question. How are you? Sorry for my name. It's from Isotope. Housetope. Oh, okay. Sounds like you're trying to speak Japanese. Housetope or Kang Krishna Sarvapagu. Pronounced selkies. Basically mammalian mermaids except with legs when they want them. You know why that's important, right? Because that's how come you can hump them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say that the role function is more competent than the demonstrative function? This is where you and socionics are at odds with each other. You mean eighth is more competent than six? Yeah.
Really?
In your own life. In terms of the display that third parties can look at, your six is more competent than your eighth.
Right.
But your eighth serves you dramatically all the time, whereas your six, you don't like it. You just do it for other people.
Well, my eighth does seem to serve me dramatically at times, but not in my own life. Like, that's the thing.
What do you mean?
Like, it seems like I just use it to address issues that arise around me, but not like, I don't really use it on a personal basis, really. It always seems to be driven by, what's going on with other people.
Well, that just may be the core of a deliberator's life, is to deliberate. And you're saying that, basically what it would say is that you wouldn't feel like your TI was meaningful at all if it weren't being manifest via some FI authenticity. I don't know what that's like exactly. I'm not a deliberator, but yeah, email. Why is my FE better than my SE? I mean, the thing about FE in the sixth slot is it's well suited to be a demonstrative function because it's kind of like FE in the third slot for me. You're just engaging with it on a sort of a pass-fail level, and you're not really doing a lot of nuanced shit with it, It's going to be, with any, pretty effective in the sixth slot, your FE. But your SE is actually much more meaningful to you in your life. In other words, you feel most satisfied when you render shit into some sort of object that you can contain in your SI and reference again, like a video or something. I'm sure you feel more satisfied when you make a video than when you don't, and you feel ultimately less satisfied by like praise than I would. Why is there always a man behind me?
Because I'm the bum that lives with him now.
Because for each of us, tomorrow's generation is just behind us, waiting in the wings.
He's raising me big and strong.
Is he INTP? Yeah.
Who do I use you could probably answer that better than I can. I don't really...
He uses it with me. When we talk about shit, he'll NI shit all the time.
Yeah, I use it as a way to like guide people that I'm talking to. Like, no, that's not the NI.
Right. But if you point out NI to him,
right,
he'll agree with it. He'll TI validate it maybe. But the thing about it is there's a disconnect between that happens with the SE poor. NI is really designed to give the cue to SE. This is the path to take and do. This is the plan to execute. And this is the time to execute it. This is the timing now. And let's get the shit done, whatever. So, as a consequence, the NI doesn't apply in his own life, because to apply in your own life links to SE, and he's polar. Creating, then saving somehow. Very interesting. I think it's hurting my SI that I don't make enough. I agree with you. You want that record of self. You won't really know yourself until you can watch yourself a lot and see change over time and see, you've consistently made random shit, even if it's just like a video about random shit, and you can see the change over time, then you'll start to own aspects of identity that require that level of SI attentiveness. You won't get it naturally on your own without facilitating it with technology in some fashion. Why would NI be ignored? I mean, because it's in your ignoring function. And we're going slot. I've never gone too deep after the fourth slot. How is it decided what comes next? I know it isn't necessarily scientific, but how is everything explained after fourth slot? Where does the theory come from? Well, it's just the fact that a cognitive function, such as I'm an extroverted intuitor, that's my dominant function. In order to do that, I need to have a specific relationship with introverted intuition as well. Because extroverted intuition always looks at other possibilities beyond the singular thing that's being presented, or beyond the clear and obvious choice. If I'm presented like for example, there was this one test that I took online that was facial expressions, and I was trying to see if it would be a good like FE test or something like that. It wasn't, but it was just an idea I was playing around with. And there were a bunch of pictures where they just showed the eyes, and you're supposed to say which adjective or verb goes along with it, and or I guess it was adjectives. And some of the ones were of sexy looking women's eyes, and the adjective was like seductive or something. On those ones, I thought, okay, well, they wouldn't make it so gender specific, so obvious. So I'm going to assume it's not seductive. And I got those ones wrong because I overthought it, quote unquote. What it really means is I ignored NI. I said, well, it can't be that easy, that obvious or something. And that's the thing that is, when we talk about our fifth slot function, what we're really saying is, what's our relationship unconsciously with the function that necessarily forms the other half of the yin yang of this other function. So it's like for extroverted intuition to deviate from the singular truth and the singular whole and the singular path and the determinant factor and the best factor and the limiting factors and stuff like that means necessary to ignore those elements that would stop ideation. So that's why the fifth slot is ignoring. And how it actually plays out is, well, the way to think about it is, things on the back side of the stack are intentional. They represent your intentions, but they don't represent your willful application of intention. So it's the difference between, your heartbeat, which is reactive to things that are actually happening to you and is telling you real information about the world by beating faster, but it's not under your willful control, but you can still be aware of it to some extent. So if you think about it as intentional versus willful and intentional, backside is just intentional. And fourth is weak as but willful. Fifth is strong but non-willful. And so the thing is, you can learn to apply your fifth in lots of different circumstances. My NI is pretty strong when it comes to making decisions about songwriting and stuff like that. But about my own life, when it comes to really utilizing it in my being rather than my doing, it just isn't there. It's like I don't care about the determinant factor. I'll figure a way around it. There's got to be some other solution here. So six is demonstrative, as Socionic says. I would say is countervalued as well. So you're pretty good at it in the external world. People you would like a world that asks that of you because you feel like you can demonstrate it fine, and you think it's reasonable for people to ask that of you. Like, I don't like TE, but I think it's reasonable for people to expect me to do things in an effective and efficient way. So it's something you don't do when you're not at work, basically. If you're forced by life to do it a lot, you're not going to be having a happy life.
I find it interesting, though, as I feel like as a TE ignoring person, I would be perfectly happy letting you do your TE demonstrative. But then most of the time I can't watch you do it because it's not right.
Right. Well, the thing is, I'm not trying. The thing is, you're not watching TE demonstrative. What you're watching is NE and TE countervalued.
Okay.
TE demonstrative is what you'd see when we're typing and I'm kind of on point and I'm trying to explain things to people, and in that case, I'm demonstrating effectiveness and efficiency. When I'm at work, at my teaching job as well, I'm demonstrating TE all the time.
Okay.
But I'm not at home. So it's like, the thing is, Kimberly might ask me to do a project of some sort. In general, I don't ever expect to get it right the first time, and I don't like it when Kimberly tells me what. I'm somewhat receptive to TE critiques, but I mean, I'm receptive to TE corrections in the actual process in the moment. Sometimes not, depending on how fussy I am about it.
I guess I don't necessarily expect to get it right the first time, but I act as if I will.
Well, I mean, your TE is going to be stronger than mine in fifth slot, even though it's less willful in some way.
Right.
But
I mean, as you can see, like generally, I would much rather just do it myself than try to like show you how to do it. If you're just gonna get like frustrated or
right. Well,
or, like
we had the problem with the flooring where I said I started on this end, and I told him to start on the other side. He listened to me rather than what he probably thought is we should probably put that one in the middle, but he just listened to me, or I don't know if he.
Well, no, because I
just ignored it.
Well, you basically said something to the effect of you wanted to be in charge of like projects around the house. So I didn't want to like.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you were being overly cautious with the FE.
Well, no, not even. I just wanted you to feel good about getting shit done the way you wanted it to get done. Like I didn't think it would be a huge issue filling in the middle. Basically,
I use a ridiculous amount of fourth in SI in a questionable way. So I sympathize with the grip notion. I'll play some scene from a month ago over and over in my head, trying to get the perfect picture of what happened. Like I wish there had been video footage I could access. I never do that. I play it over and over again sometimes and cringe at the awfulness of my own failure, or
yeah, that's what I do.
Or if it went well, feel like a certain like rush of like that's juicy, But if it's playing over and over again, it's probably because I feel ashamed of myself. I feel ashamed of my social failings. I feel ashamed when I'm an ass. I feel ashamed when I embarrass myself naked in the class. Anyone else getting a lot of buffering? No, I'm not getting any buffering, but then I'm not on that end of it again.
Well, I think you probably are lagging a little bit. But
probably I am. What's your experience with any in the ace slot? I don't have any in the ace slot, but
obviously they're asking some other random
schmuck
in here if there are any SE DOMs other than Brittany.
They use it to serve their SE, so it's not done for its own sake. And it's not satisfying for its own sake, but they can sometimes bust out with some good ideation for sure.
To me, I guess you'll mostly see, if you want to put it really simply, an SE user, sometimes they understand that they have to use a little bit of any in order to have like the fun that they want to have.
Right. Are you starving?
I mean, I could eat, but like I also could go a really long time without eating.
I'm kind of starving though.
Yeah, I probably am starving. It's been a while.
All right. Good night, everybody. Don't fail to remember, nor to forget to remember to forget. Eat plenty of cheese. Goodbye. Sleep tight, and don't let the bed bugs bite. The end.